Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. So I'm going to do a follow-up on my last video. I got an unusually high number of negative comments. I'm thinking the algorithm it landed on a mega whatever because nothing but maggots insulting me and unbelievable gaslighting. So anyway, even my wife said, "Oh my God, the last video, like, did you do? What was up with your video? It was on George Stephanopoulos because these comments are really horrible." And so suffice to say, I looked at the video again. Maybe it wasn't my best. I was a little more animated than I usually am, but nothing. And I was completely spot on. I was just talking about the Stephanopoulos and JD Vance interview, and I thought Stephanopoulos handled it beautifully. He just shut off Vance when he started spewing all these lies. So I said to myself, "Oh my God, this country is fucked." I mean, the gaslighting is off the charts, but they are convinced that they are the goodies, I'm talking about the maggots, that they're telling the truth. They're falling for the lies of little MAGA Mikey Johnson, JD Vance. Everything that Vance says is a lie. Everything that obviously Trump, Orange, is a lie. And that's where they are. And when you call them out, like, there's some lies that you can't deny with Orange. Like, what is it? Up to 40,000 or something since since 2016. I think it's even a lot higher. They used to count the number of lies. He was averaging like 12 lies a day, basically every time he opened his mouth. And then I think it was the Washington Post at the time, and they just stopped counting his lies. But anyway, like, now there's some things they just can't. Like gas is $1.99. Like, inflation is down. There's no more inflation. But you know what they'll say? The maggots. They'll say all politicians lie. It's always a distraction. It's always, well, this. A diversion. This and it's like, dude. Yes, that's right. Politicians do lie, but here's the thing: a couple of things. Not all lies are equal. Okay, that's a fact, and sometimes there's a good reason to lie for security reasons. I'll get into this some other time. But yes, politicians do lie, but not the number of lies that Trump compared to others. It's not even close, right? Biden may have told a few dozen lies, whatever. You told about 40,000, bro. The Orange guy. So anyway, it really is, like, upsetting. Like, I usually don't, when I see a negative comment, I just erase it and block them. Now, I invite people from the other side if you're a reasonable person. But if you're going to gaslight me and say that I'm spewing hate, are you kidding me? I'm spewing hate. Like, it's such incredible when your guy, and then you take a look at their profile, and they're subscribed to Alex Jones. I mean, what are you kidding me? It's just nuts. It's all projection. It's all projection is confession. Like, you should be in a mental hospital. I'm like, oh my God, projection is confession. All right. I love Alex Jones. I listen to Alex Jones. Then what's the other kid? Asmund Gold, whatever these people watch. But anyway, I looked at that video. A little more animated than, but it's just nuts. And I think it was so obvious that JD Vance did a terrible job. I thought Stephanopoulos did a fantastic job covering. Dakota, what is it? My dog is going off. Should I start this video? All right, let me pause for a second. All right, sorry about that. We have two huskies. Anyway, so getting right into this. Don't let them gaslight you, all right? That's all they do. And as I said in my last video, they have a huge propaganda machine in Fox. So that's where you get the MAGA boomers. They watch that all day, every day. And all they do is just lie, lie, lie. And then all for the younger people, Gen X, or I'm sorry, millennials, Gen Z, even Gen Xers, you get Rogan, the Gen Zers, millennials, Asmund Gold, Tim Pool, Tom Crowder, whatever his name is, Steven Crowder, and all this stuff, backed up by the techno billionaires like Peter Thiel and all that kind of stuff. So they're pushing out propaganda 24/7, and they have them convinced. That's what it is. That's what happens in a dictatorship. All right. So anyway, let me continue on with the George Stephanopoulos stuff. I'm going to give you Vosh's take. I'll just play a little bit of this. I'm not going to bother to download this, but here you go. And I can't believe anyone who watched it or thinks that JD Vance is telling the truth. I mean, I don't get it, but here we go.
All right, we can't keep putting this off. What the happened here?
We're joined now by Vice President J.D. Vance. Mr. Vice President, thank you for joining us this morning. Let's start with the Middle East. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Hamas has confirmed they are holding.
This was immediately before Stephanopoulos, George Stephanopoulos, as he's known by his close friends and family, talked to Pritzker, which is why in the opening of his convo with Pritzker, Pritzker said, "We just heard a bevel of lies from our vice president." I know that reference is there.
20 living hostages, and that those hostages are going to be released in the next 24 hours, early as today, perhaps. Have 20 living hostages been confirmed? When do you expect to see them?
Well, they've been confirmed, George. Of course, you don't know until you see these people alive, but thank God we expect to see them alive here in the next 24 hours, probably early tomorrow morning, U.S. time, which will be later in the day, of course, in Israel. But look, George, we have to remember this is a remarkable achievement from an administration that really chose a non-conventional path to diplomacy. And I think that's the major takeaway.
The non-conventional path in question being putting literally any pressure on Israel whatsoever.
Yeah.
Novel stuff, really. I'd almost forgotten it was possible.
Let me pause again. I can't look at this fucking guy. I mean, he's so gross. I mean, I will give him credit. He's very articulate. He's intelligent. He's kind of boring. I don't like to look at the fucking guy. He's a closeted drag queen. I have nothing against drag queens, you know that. But he's full of hate. He's a closeted one. There's nothing worse than a closeted gay, he's a disgusting person. We all know his background, how he flip-flop and all this, whatever. But let me continue on for a little bit, and I'll just put this whole thing in the comment section. I know it's annoying. I'm just holding up the phone. I usually download, but whatever. Here we go.
Instructed Marco Rubio, Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff. He said, "Get a deal done. Talk to the Gulf Arab states.
What a joke!
Talk to Israel. Find where there's common ground here, and actually let's go and find a way to get it done." And because of that, we're on the cusp of true peace in the Middle East, really for the first time in my lifetime. Right. Certainly, these 20 hostages are going to come home to their families, George.
By the way, Biden released 135, so 20 to 135. Listen, I'm not denying it's a good thing here, but we'll see what happens. Orange is totally out of it. When asked about this, it's like, so explain to me, what are your thoughts about two-state solution? He's like, what? What's a two-state solution? Talk to someone else. Like, dude, didn't you broker this? You don't even know what a two-state solution? He's such a fucking orange. He's gone. The guy is so dumb. He's so dumb. He's never read a book in his life. He doesn't know what's going on. And the people behind the scenes, like, well, Stephen Miller's basically the president. But let me continue on for a minute or two.
Great moment for our country. Our country should be proud of our diplomats who made this happen. It's really a great moment for the world, too, which is why the president's going to go over there and celebrate with these hostages. But it's a great thing, and I'm very excited about it.
200 U.S. troops are being...
I need this so badly. I need Trump to show up at, a gala being thrown to honor the arrival of the 20 surviving hostages, and Trump shakes hands and takes a picture with each of them, and Trump is explaining to all of them how he saved their lives and how he's
exactly.
And they're trying to talk to him about their harrowing experience of being held by Hamas for 2 years, and he just clearly does not give a shit. He's like, yeah.
I just want the prize. All right, I've had enough. All right. By the way, Vosh is great, but I'll put this whole thing in the comment section. I know it's annoying with me holding up the phone. So, again, on a closing note, do not let them gaslight you. Everything they say, projection is confession. That's all it is. All right. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. And I always say peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk. If you made it this far, thank you very much. Make sure you like and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm, and spread it around. You know you want to.